What do we mean by mutually exclusive events? So one event does not affect the other event. That is, if I am getting a head, it means the next time I may get a head or I may get a tail. The multiplicative laws. So this law can be applied in two situations, namely when the events are independent, when the events are dependent. In this conditional probability, the happening of an event depends on the happening of another event. Hello everyone, I am Purnima, faculty in the Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram, First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. I welcome you all to this session. In this session, we will be going to the next part of the probability chapter. So in this session, we will be having a discussion on the laws of probability. So as you all know, the laws of probability, there are two types of laws. The first one is the additive laws. And the second one is the multiplicative laws. So we have two laws here. One is additive law, the second one is the multiplicative law. Now in this additive law, we have P of A union B equals P of A plus P of B. Now we are having the additive laws 1 and laws 2 here. So when do we use this P of A union B equals P of A plus P of B? This is when events are mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive. Now what do we mean by mutually exclusive events? So one event does not affect the other event. That is, if I am getting a head, it means the next time I may get a head or I may get a tail. The happening of one event does not necessarily depend on the previous event. So we call them as mutually exclusive. And if I can show it in a Venn diagram, I can show it in this way. So that is the probability of A and B. They are mutually exclusive. So they are independent. So when A and B are independent, then this law will apply. What is the law? P of A union B equals P of A plus P of B. So this will apply when the events are mutually exclusive. So they don't depend on each other. So when they don't depend on each other, then we can make use of this probability law. Then when the events are not mutually exclusive, when they are not mutually exclusive, then what is the formula you use for probability? So when they are not mutually exclusive, then we make use of this formula. P of A union B, P of A union B equals P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. So that means when they are not mutually exclusive means, suppose I have to show it in a Venn diagram, I can show it in this way. So that is A and B. So they have something in common. So they are dependent on each other. Then we make use of this formula. So the P of A union B equals P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. Now suppose there are more than two events. Then how can we extend this? So when there are more than two events, we have P of A union B union C equals P of A plus probability of B plus probability of C minus probability of A intersection B minus probability of B intersection C minus probability of C intersection A plus probability of A intersection B intersection C. So this will be the formula when you have more than two events. Probability of A union B union C equals probability of A plus probability of B plus probability of C minus probability of A intersection B minus probability of B intersection C minus probability of C intersection A plus probability of A intersection B intersection C. Now, if we can show this in a Venn diagram, so if I can show it here, so this will be the diagram. So this is A, B and C. So this is A intersection B, B intersection C, and this will be A intersection B intersection C. So when we have more than 3 events happening at a time, so we can make use of this formula. So the laws of addition, A union B equals probability of A plus probability of B when the events are mutually exclusive. When they are not mutually exclusive, then we make use of probability of A union B equals probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. Now, the next law, the multiplicative laws. So, this law can be applied in 2 situations, namely when the events are independent, when the events are dependent. Now, again, here also we have the 2 types of events, one in which it is independent, other in which it is dependent. So, when the events are independent, if 2 events A and B are independent, then that both will occur is the product of the 2. So, P of A intersection B equals P of A into P of B. That is, probability of A and B both occurring will be equal to probability of A into probability of B. That is, when the events are independent, that is, they are mutually exclusive. Then, next one is when the events are dependent. So, we call this as conditional probability. Now, in this conditional probability, the happening of an event depends on the happening of another event. Suppose it may rain or it may not rain, and because of the rain, there may be some traffic jam. So, this traffic jam may occur because of the roadblock which has been caused due to the rain. So, there is a condition that if it rains, then there is a roadblock and then there is a traffic jam. So, the traffic jam is a result of the rain which causes the roadblock and then the traffic jam. So, we can say that it is conditional probability. So, in this multiplicative laws, when events are dependent, we call it as conditional probability. So, probability of A intersection B equals probability of A by B, where probability into probability of B when probability of B is not equal to 0. So, we can find out the conditional probability when we have this other condition. So, we have the probability of the occurrence of another event. So, probability of A by B equals probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. Now, similarly, when we have probability of B by A, so it will be again probability of A intersection B and divided by probability of B and probability of A not equal to 0. So, this is the multiplicative law, that is probability of A intersection B will be equal to probability of A by B into probability of B, where probability of B not equal to 0. Okay. Now, so if I want probability of A by B, so it is very simple. I just divide this by this number. So, probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. Now, suppose I want probability of B by A. So, it is probability of B by A will be equal to, again, probability of A intersection B divided by probability of A. So, this is the answer. So, this will happen only when probability of A not equal to 0. So, probability of A intersection B by probability of A when probability of A not equal to 0. So, this is the multiplicative laws of probability. So, we will work out a few problems on based on these laws. Now, they have given probability of A equals half, probability of B equals 3/4, and probability you have to find probability of A intersection B, find probability of A union B. So they have given us the data and we have to substitute in the formula. Now we know that probability of A union B equals probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. So we know this. So we have to find A union B. So I know that probability of A equals half plus probability of B equals 3 by 4 minus half. That is probability of A intersection B equals half. Now I can take the LCM as 4. So this will be into 2. 2 plus 3 minus 1. So 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. So 4 by 4 equals 1 is the answer. So the probability of A union B equals 1 is the answer. Now the next problem. So probability of A equals 1 by 8. Probability of B equals 1 by 6. Probability of A union B equals 1 by 4. Find probability of A intersection B. Very simple. So we make use of the formula probability of A union B equals probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. Now we know what is probability of A union B. A union B is 1/4. Probability of A is 1/8. Probability of B is 1 by 6. So I don't know probability of A intersection B. Now I take this 1 by 4 equals, I take the LCM as 48 is the LCM here. I am taking the LCM of 6 8s are 48. So 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 by 48. So 14 by 48 minus P of A intersection B. Now this will be equal to P of A intersection B equals 14 by 48 minus 1 by 4. So I bring this to the right hand side of the equation. So 14 by 48 minus 1 by 4. So I take the LCM as 48. So 14 minus 4 into 12 is 48. So 14 minus 12. So this will be equal to 2 by 48. Or this, when I simplify, it will be 1 by 24 is the answer. So the probability of A intersection B equals 1 by 24. So probability of A union B equals probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. So I substitute all the values here. So I don't know probability of A intersection B. So I add these two values and subtract the probability of A union B. I get the answer as 1 by 24. So probability of A intersection B equals 1 by 24. Now the next problem here, if probability of A is 0.8, probability of B is 0.5 and probability of A union B is 0.9, find the probability of A by B. So they have asked us a problem on multiplicative laws. Now we have to use both the formulas here, that is additive law and multiplicative law. Now when I write additive law, the probability of A union B equals probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. So first we have to find out the probability of A intersection B. So I'll write probability of A union B is 0.9 equals 0.8 plus 0.5 minus probability of A intersection B. So this will be equal to 0.9 equals probability of A intersection B. So I bring this to the left hand side. Probability of A intersection B equals 0.13 minus 0.9. So probability of A intersection B equals 0.4 is the answer. So we got probability of A intersection B. Now I have to find out probability of A by B. So what is the formula? So probability of A by B equals probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. So I have the probability of A intersection B. Now what is the probability of A intersection B? So this is equal to 0.4. Now what is the probability of B? 0.5. So probability of A by B equals 0.4 by 0.5. So when I divided 0.4 divided by 0.5, I get the answer as 0.8. So probability of A by B equals 0.8 is the answer. In this problem, so we are making use of both the laws, that is the additive law and the multiplicative law. So P of A union B equals P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. So probability of A union B is 9, probability of A is 8, probability of B is 0.5. So when I simplify, I got probability of A intersection B is 0.4. Now I substitute the values here. So probability of A by B equals probability of A intersection B by probability of B. So 0.4 by 0.5, I get 0.8 as the answer. Next problem, the probability that a student passes QT is 2 by 3. The probability that he passes management account is 3 by 4. The probability of passing at least one subject is 4 by 5. Find the probability of passing both the subjects. We'll have to write down whatever is the data given here in the problem. So the probability of passing QT equals 2 by 3. Passing QT. The probability of passing QT is 2 by 3. Then the probability of passing management accounting is 3 by 9. The probability of passing at least one subject is 4 by 5. So, what is the probability of passing both the subjects? The probability of passing both, that will be probability of Q union M. So that will be equal to 4 by 5. So probability of passing only QT is 2 by 3. Probability of passing only management accounting is 3 by 9. The probability of passing both QT and management is, that is Q union M equals 4 by 5. Now find the probability of passing both the subjects. That is probability of Q intersection M. So we have to find the probability of Q intersection M. So we know what is the formula. P of A union B equals P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. So probability of A union B equals probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. Now I know what is the union. So what is the union here? 4 by 5. So what is the probability of QT? That is 2 by 3. Probability of passing this management accounting is 3 by 9. So probability of passing both is A intersection B. So this I don't know. So I will simplify all these values. So P of A intersection B equals, so I take the LCM here, 9 is the LCM. So into 3, 6 plus 3, that is 9 by 9. So 9 by 9. So probability of minus 4 by 5. So, probability of A intersection B will be equal to 1 minus 4 by 5. This is 1 minus 4 by 5. So, 5 in the denominator, then 5 minus 4 equals 1 by 5. So, the probability of A intersection B equals 1 by 5 is the answer. So, the student passing both the subject is 1 by 5. So, this is how we have to calculate the probability of the events. With this, we come to the end of this session. Hope you have followed it. Thank you.